Stage 2, I'm giving change serious consideration. Change is something that is unfortunately pretty foreign to us as humans. We don't like it. We don't tend to adapt to it easily. So there's a very short, very easy read book called Who Moved My Cheese? Any of you guys read it? Yeah, so a couple of you. It's by Ken Blanchard. It's very easy to read, very big writing. You can probably read it in a couple days. And it's just all about the concept of change happens, and you can deal with it or you cannot deal with it. And essentially it's a couple mice and their cheese, where they go to eat their cheese every day, all of a sudden it's moved. And the one just sits there and it's like, well, maybe it'll be here today. Maybe next day it'll be here. And the other is like, you know what, I'm gonna go find it. So it's just adapting to that change. So it kind of gets you in that concept of, okay, change is gonna happen, but I can choose how to deal with it. Next up, describe how stress makes you feel emotionally. How do you feel when you get stressed out? Are you irritable? Do you have mood swings? Do you get a little bit brash? What are the things that happen to you? Write those down. Do you like those feelings? Do you think that they make you a better person? Do they affect others, not just you? So we know the answers to these, but for some reason writing them down and seeing them on paper is just reinforces the concept of why to do this. Next, we need to know what our stressors are. So create a list of your 5 biggest stressors, and you can have more than that, but let's focus on maybe 5 that we could work on. Sometimes they're interrelated, sometimes they're not, but we need to identify what really is our stress. Because sometimes it's underlying, it's not actually work, but it's something that happens before work that we kind of mask it as work. And it may be an eye-opening experience as well. Speak with a friend who's experienced negative health as a result of high stress. So you may or may not know someone who's experienced negative health as a result. But if you do, ask them what happened and how did they deal with it and how are they dealing with it now. Does anybody know anyone? I know a guy who had a heart attack because something happened and he just wasn't handling his stress. And he would get up and speak to his coworkers about it and how he's changed. And you know, some of it has been stress management, some of it has been other things, but that's unfortunately one of the consequences that could occur in extreme cases. And then since we're just giving change consideration, we'll just take about 15 minutes a day and add in something that's really relaxing in our eyes. And again, this could be different for everyone. So it could be reading for one person, it could be lighting some candles and listening to some soft music. It could be doing some deep breath work right before we go to bed or when we wake up. It could be going on a walk. So just 15 minutes a day, do something for you that you find relaxing. Next up is stage 3, getting ready to change soon. So with any type of change, we want to create a plan that we can follow. It's easier when we know what we need to do. So we write it out, and sometimes we even incorporate it maybe into our daily planner or our calendar so that it becomes more real. It's on paper, so it's just more of something that we'll believe in and follow. Tell your friends and family about your plans to reduce your stress levels. This is good because, one, you want the support of them. You want them to know what you're doing, but you also want them to be able to hold you accountable. So it's less likely for you to fall back into that pre-contemplation stage when you know someone out there is hoping that you will succeed as well and going to be asking you about it. Find a friend who will help you manage your stress. So find that one person you know you can talk to about anything, whether it be a family member, a coworker, maybe a stranger, maybe some type of coach or someone, just a friend of a friend, someone you're not too close with, but someone who you trust. They can be an outlet as well. And then again, with making this stress management change more tangible, we create a day that we start our less stress way of life. Lastly, don't forget about relaxation CDs and videos. We can use them at home, in the car. We can download to our iPod now. So these things are created for stress management. And you could potentially have something to listen to at any time of the day. So Whether it be music or motivational speakers or whatnot, these are tools that you can use that are fairly inexpensive. I'm sure the library has some free tools as well that will help you with managing your stress. Stage 4 is the action stage. There are stress management classes out there and support groups, and that's something that's great if you have the time. If you don't, just make sure that you're talking and you have some type of social network that you can deal with, whatever the stress is. Regularly update your friends and family on your efforts to reduce your stress. This kind of solidifies in your mind why you're doing it, and it keeps you excited and engaged in your stress management technique. Begin a regular walking program to help you reduce your stress. Exercise is one of the main things that will help reduce stress levels. And walking's gotta be the easiest thing that we can do because all we need is a good pair of shoes. Whether it's just walking around the office, taking the stairs, going out for a 10-minute walk at lunch, walking after dinner, walking the dog, whatever it is, get out and walk. Give yourself time to clear your head, to get some fresh air. The endorphins that are released while we exercise can help combat those stress hormones, so it's a really great thing to do. Create a list of responses that you can use as substitutes to getting stressed out. So for instance, if you're one of those people who has a hard time saying no to things and you get stressed out because you constantly have too much on your plate, maybe you need to create a couple ways of kindly saying no and being able to back out or avoid those situations in the first place. And that can be something that you can use. Take on a new activity like golfing, joining a walking club, or bicycling. It doesn't necessarily have to be exercise. It could be anything that you enjoy. But the concept is that we get outside of our normal routine. We get to do something that we enjoy, that makes us laugh, that makes us smile. Maybe we get to meet a new person or a couple new people, and it just takes us outside of our comfort zone. So that's a self-management technique in itself, is doing something that we enjoy. Lastly, learn and utilize a stress management technique like yoga or meditation. Yoga, Pilates, meditation, Tai Chi, any of these, the focus is to connect the mind, the body, and breath. And it's a great self-stress management tool that you can use. Now, there are classes out there, but there are also a ton of DVDs and even books that will show you the poses and how to breathe while you do them. And this is something that can just be done for 5 to 10 minutes. A couple poses in the morning, maybe at night, and that can really help maybe relieve a headache, get rid of that stress. It's something to look into if you haven't tried it yet. The next stage is stage 5. This is our maintenance stage, which tends to be the toughest stage to stay in because we get bored very easily, and it's hard to maintain those habits. Sometimes life gets in the way. So some things that we can do is definitely make sure that you are celebrating your accomplishments of your plan. And that may be just rewarding yourself with a new outfit, or maybe putting some money towards a project you've been wanting to do. Maybe doing some type of stress management technique like getting yourself a massage or taking a short vacation, a weekend getaway. Just make sure you are giving back to yourself. Continue to develop healthy habits in your life beyond exercise and stress management. So maybe look at something else in your life that you're looking at changing, and that will give you a new goal and something else to focus on. Offer yourself as a testimonial to others about the benefits of regular exercise. This is nice because, again, it reminds us why we exercise in the first place, and it holds us accountable. If you're out there talking about your exercise routine, what you do, and how it's helped you, whether it is stress management or weight loss or energy or whatnot, you're more likely to stick with that. Create a list of benefits you've experienced since the beginning. So this is where we take a look back at our old self and those feelings that we felt when we got stressed out, and now we make a new list of the ways that now we feel a little bit different. So maybe it's just we wake up and we're not angry when we wake up, or we're not stressed already when we wake up, or whatever it may be. But make those lists and maybe keep them where you can read them on a daily basis.